Greetings, greetings, greetings. Welcome to Heal Talk Tuesday. It's so good to be here with you, isn't it? How are you doing? You know, it's amazing to be right here with you, and we take so much in life for granted. Today we're going to dive into a subject and a topic that has been weighing heavily on so many families, especially lately, and it's about teens and anxiety. So that's what I'm going to be talking about today. And if it is you or someone you know who has a teen at their house, by all means, this is a topic that I would like you to share with me, talk with me, DM me. I'm here for you. So I want to start by sharing a story. So the story is one of my clients, Mary, has always been proud of her son, Tade, and a bright 16-year-old. And I want to remind you one thing. Names have been changed to protect my clients. So I am giving just a name out of the air, okay? So this 16-year-old bright boy, um, he was referred to me through social media. 16-year-old with a quick wit, love for soccer, gregarious, uh, doing a lot of activities, socially apt, and a social bee, right? But over the past year, something had changed. And he was being more withdrawn, gained some weight, spending more time in his room with headphones, and just staring at his phone and going through social media for hours and hours and gaming over 5 hours. So his mom chalked it up to it's a teenage stuff. And until she started noticing something. One evening, after reminding him to put his stuff away and that they've got guests, he went into an outburst. He snapped, he started shouting, banged the doors, and to a point that he kicked the door to a point that literally put a hole in it. Um, Her mom, shocked, could not believe it. So she stands in front of him, and I want to also share, she's a single mom. So not knowing what to do because he's also bigger and taller than her, she starts screaming back to a point that she stormed out. She walked out and called a neighbor. So she was very heartbroken, and to a point that later that night she sat outside in his door listening to muffled sobs that he was crying. He was crying and begging for forgiveness and saying, "I'm sorry, I didn't understand what I was doing." She wanted to go in and hold him and ask what was wrong, but she was scared. She was scared for herself, not knowing what can happen. Now, this story, we think that is something that happened in a movie. Um, when she came to me, when she was referred to me, when we got on the phone, she was literally sobbing and her voice was trembling. Um, she couldn't help but wonder, where did her happy, confident son go? How did this self-doubt, this anxiety, this anger, where did all this come? Because being almost 17 years old is just like, where did all this happen? Because, and it was not because of COVID, because COVID was what, 4 years ago, 3 years ago? So When she was referred to me, as I said, she was trembling, she didn't know what to do, and he had refused help prior to that. This is what happened. She came to me about 3 weeks ago with him. He sat here, hands folded, and after she walked out of the room, we talked and just talked. And I said, this is only a consultation. Then he agreed to do a session. Just one. He said, I only want one session. This is where hypnosis becomes a very powerful tool. A hypnosis becomes this bridge between the surface behavior and the deeper struggles that he was going through. And I can say that that one session turned into 1, 2, 3. We just had our 4th session yesterday. So first and foremost, I created a safe space for him. And as you know, as a clinical hypnotherapist, I've been practicing for 24 years. And I love to work with teams because first and foremost, I am separate from parents. Parents want to do certain things, and I know moms and sons, they dote over their sons. I created a safe space for him that he felt calm, he felt non-judgmental, and plus I wasn't appeasing his behavior. So first and foremost, understanding, moms, understand, you truly have to let them know you love them, but the behavior is not acceptable. Okay, so that's what we did. Through our sessions, we did this rewiring of the negative beliefs that he was having. Like through hypnosis, we gently accessed the subconscious, which is the emotional part of it, that it's like the programming, where it happened, how it happened, and where I'm not good enough, and I don't have to be perfect. He lost 2 games in soccer. It destroyed him because this image of him being the hunk and also the best athlete, he felt he didn't play good enough. Plus, a girl that was dating broke off. So do you understand? I am the king, and then suddenly I am told I'm not the one. It's very subtle, and yet it can make a huge impact in teams. Do you agree with this? If you agree, you can just, if you have ever felt it, maybe when you were young, or maybe you have a child, a teenager at home. So do you understand what he did? He went to his friends, unfortunately the wrong friends, and he picked up something that to calm him, to relax him, so that he forgets. So in the last 7 months, apparently he had been smoking and doing a little bit of a drugs, and you know, it's okay to do experimental stuff, but unfortunately experimental became his daily thing, and vaping the wrong things. I'm not here to judge. His mom didn't have any idea what he was going through, and it was affecting his mental being, where he went into self-judgment because he knew, he said it, but I'm a good boy. A good boy, yes, but just because he's doing that doesn't mean he did bad and he's a bad boy. Actions, what he did, He was self-medicating and self-punishing himself. So hypnosis teaches teens and gives tools for them to manage their anxiety, manage their behavior, giving them tools. He found that through listening to the audio recording, he can be as calm as putting that vape in his mouth. Plus, I was teaching him that every time you put something that orally, you are shutting down expressing. Isn't it better for you to express? Because by second session, he was already expressing what was deeply inside his hurt, his pain. Feeling dumped. It's as if the king can never be dumped. Well, I shared with him that there are so many kings in countries that have been dumped, have been dethroned, and even coming from our country, Iran, it's like, do you realize that there is so much, and that you are just starting life? And isn't it better for you to have the tools right here, right now, and strengthening his self-esteem? You know, one of the things, it's amazing, although I'm an expert in women's wellness and young girls, I talk about women, girls, our emotions. We forget how much boys are as much sensitive and holding that sensitive and not expressing their feelings. They just stuff it in a whole different way. And when they get angry, yes, they become more masculine, hitting, banging, breaking. Maybe girls do it in a whole different way. Women express it in a different way. But it doesn't mean that he's got that anger and can never go away. So through hypnosis and working with the subconscious for him to understand where the triggers came, because he didn't realize that this entire thing happened a year and a half ago, even though his mom saw the behavior changed and she thought it was only 9 months, maybe a year. It started a year and a half ago. So it was when he was in junior high. It's amazing. We don't realize how subtle our behaviors change. And I remember when I was a teenager, my tantrums were in a whole different way. I love cars, and I know for me, sitting in my car and speeding and wanting to race others, and I always had my power cars. I mean, literally, the first year I got a car, my dad, bless his soul, he thought he gave me the strongest car, the safest car, and it was. It was this best Camaro that he gave me, and that Camaro, at that time, I had a Camaro when I was 16 years old, right after I got my driver's license. Within 2 days, I got into an accident. Then I went up and down the curves. I had tantrums that I could only speed it away. I thought, if I can go fast enough, I can break it. I can break through this. And my car became my safety zone and my ego thing. So, yes, teenagers do have this ego. The king, the queen, the princess, the prince, right? So, if you are like Mary and standing outside your son's or even your daughter's door, wondering how you can reach them, know that definitely there is hope. It's best to take care of it right here, right now. And love, but not appease. Hypnosis can be this bridge that helps your teen move from feeling overwhelmed to feeling confident. knowing that they can get out of this isolation. Um, I invite you to explore how this transformation tool can help your teens, because working with the subconscious mind is like really going deep in there faster than any talk therapy. It's better to do therapy than having all the meds that also suppress the emotions. They numb the emotions. I believe medications have a role. I'm not here to say meds are not good. It's not my place. But what if they can express their feelings that they don't even understand in a more loving space, in a more positive space, and faster than years and years of therapy? So that is um, that is what I wanted to say, because when a mom walks in here in tears and the son comes standing like this and walks out of their door saying thank you and giving me a hug, that is the difference between one session and in 4 sessions thriving. We all have a block. We have the ego. We have 3 brains. We have the mental brain, the emotional brain, the gut brain, and things that your gut feels. And I talk to them. What does your gut say? What does your tummy say? Because if a child is having tantrums and doing the vaping constantly and in their room feeling isolated, is giving you a message. When there is a tantrum of hitting and anger tantrums, maybe you cannot handle it, but it doesn't mean that we need to call the cops. Before you do that, there's other ways. I am honored that I can help this beautiful soul, and he's seeing the transitions. For years, I have worked with teenagers and children with internal fears, internal angers, and tantrums. By all means, I believe I have shared that many years ago, I had a mom that came over here and the child wanted to do suspension and she didn't even understand what suspension is. And in few sessions, he realized that this is not the ritualistic way of doing it. Harming himself and his body is not spiritual, because he's too young to understand that. So if you are hearing this message, I want you to understand, after so many years of doing the work that I am doing, I am not here to judge, and nothing is here to surprise me. And if I don't know how to handle it, by all means, I've got connections. I have other experts that I reach out to or I refer to. I have a pool of psychiatrists and psychologists and other experts that I do talk with. But by all means, I start with hearing them, creating a safe space for them, and treating that child as a little human, not a baby. And definitely not the king that they think they are. So If this message resonates with you, if there is anything I can help you or your team, give me a call, DM me, message me. Most of the time, up to 12 o'clock, I do respond to DMs. And I am here because I believe in health and wellness in a more holistic and spiritual way. I healed myself through hypnotherapy. If I can numb my gums and not have surgery, not have anesthetics for doing gum surgery, oral surgery, and root canals, there's other ways to numb the pain and yet heal the emotions and the tantrums. So that was the talk for today. We have so many stories, so many testimonials. And if you want to get in touch with me, by all means, say yes. And if you agree to this, if you understand this, if you want to share it, I'm here for you. I look forward to speaking with you and being of assistance, and it would be my honor to work with your loved ones. Today is, oh my God, end of January, and with everything that is happening, you have the right and the say in your health and wellness. So until next week, I bid you goodbye and God bless you. May the universal light surround you always, and know that you're always protected from above and grounded on Mother Earth. See you next week.
Thank you for being here. If you want to check out some of the testimonials that I've got, click right here. But if you want to go back and watch other videos from a week ago, 2 weeks ago, even a year ago, click right here. See you next time.